Hey guys, it's Pearl, and today I'm going to be trying out a program called VRoid Studio. I found this program from Learn to Draw Manga's video, so go check that out too. Anyway, VRoid Studio is a program where you can create your own original character. It's actually really easy to use, and I don't think you'd need to watch any tutorials to do basic things. I already tried out VRoid off camera to make my persona Pearl, and I think she turned out pretty well. VRoid is still in beta, so it doesn't have a lot of options coding-wise, but I'll get to that later. When you open up VRoid, there's a bunch of starter models you can use, but you don't have to. Clicking New Model will give you the option of a male or female base model. I already created a girl, so I'm going to be making a boy this time. There are a lot of slider options that change parts of the face. The character I'm recreating is Draco, who has pretty sharp eyes. So I just play around with all the options until I like it. Draco has a lot of extra details on him, like a tail, horns, big ears, and scales. From what I've seen, VRoid doesn't have the option to create most of those, and it's still in beta, so maybe they'll add it later. It would be cool if they had elf ears we could just size or resize. In addition to the sliders, there is also a tab called Texture. In this tab, you can edit things directly on their skins. It's cool because you can draw directly on the model or the texture. Starting with the eyes, I had to redo them to make them look like my style. One thing I noticed is that the blur tool, which is the water drop icon, doesn't have much effect. When I put the size up, it lags, so I'm not sure if it's just my computer or the tool. Anyway, editing the eyebrows was hard for me off camera, so I just changed the color to indigo and didn't change anything else. It looked fine like that. I didn't have any problems with making both eyes look exactly the same, since Draco's right eye is blind. But if you wanted to make them both look the same, the icon on the top right is a mirror tool. The way I draw eye shines looked odd on the program, so I had to draw some directly on the eye and then the rest on the actual eye shine texture. Then came the actual face, which is one of the parts that took me the longest. I was debating whether or not to give Draco scales here because it was a big part of his design, but the rest of his features weren't in the program. I decided to go with it. It looked super messy in the start, but then it looked pretty good when I was done. I would like it better if the scales were 3D too and had a real shine, since I'm not the best at drawing them manually on flat skin. I was going to give up halfway through, but after cleaning it up, it didn't look too bad. Though I did struggle a bit with it because, it is really uneven and it looks weird, and also it was, I don't know, the tools were different. The brush felt different than usually what you'd have on like your average everyday drawing program. So I did struggle a little bit with it, but I eventually got the hang of it. Next came the eye line. It looked pretty good already, so all I did was just adjust the color of both it and the eyelashes and then made it a bit sharper looking like Draco's eyeline. Now I moved on to the hair, which also took me a while. The hair part of this program is a little weird for me to work with, but I like it. You can basically draw a stroke of hair and shape it however you want. I've never done 3D modeling before, and Draco is a 2D character, so drawing his hair was harder than I thought, or modeling his hair, I guess. Then I added a couple of details with little hairs spiking out at the end, and I think it looks pretty accurate. After that, I added a couple of details to the face, like a bit of shading and light blushing to make it look more like my current style, and to give a little bit of warmness to his face. After that, it was time to move on to the body. The body editor has sliders just like the face. For the clothes, I gave him a red hoodie and changed his pants and shoes later on. I wanted to give him a dragon on his left arm like the jacket in Draco's original design, but the way the lighting was on there made the colors look way darker than they were, so I just kept it plain. For the shoes, all I did was make the rims white and change the laces to black. It was a little messy, but it looks pretty good on the model. After that, I realized that I didn't do the scales on Draco's neck or on his hands, so I had to move on to the body texture. This one was a little more confusing, so I had to kind of scribble around to see where things were on the model. I colored the back of his head the same color as his hair, so the hair looked fuller, and he didn't look bald. Then I went on to do what I did with the face and drew scales on his hands using the mirror tool. It was actually kind of weird doing it, but I think it came out pretty okay. After cleaning it up, it didn't look too bad, so I kept it. Afterwards, I did the scales on the neck, which made it look better, and then added shading and shine to all the scales. I filled in the back of the neck just indigo since I was too tired to draw more scales. My hands were hurting after this. After that, the customization was done. VRoid has tons of pre-made animations and sliders for emotions. Seeing Draco smile really warmed my heart. Since he was a character who never really smiled, I kind of wanted to draw him like that. Anyway, one thing I really liked about the expression sliders was that there was an option for fangs, which was great because Draco was a dragon, which meant he had sharp teeth. I made his teeth pointy and gave him sharp upper canines. After that, I messed with the lighting and the background for a bit before heading to posing. Like I said, the program has tons of pre-made animations, but it also has the option to pose manually. Messing with the poses a bit, I saw that his body would clip through the jacket at certain times, and I didn't know how to fix it, so I had to alter the pose a bit later on, and then it made him look kind of pissed off. Posing 3D models was actually really fun, and it's way easier than drawing models, that's for sure. I wanted to get into 3D animation before, but it's always been really hard and kind of time consuming. Another thing was that you could add effects like wind or blur, etc. There was a button called capture which would take a screenshot of the pose for you, and the button called stop which would immediately stop the pose so that you can take pictures yourself. Personally, I'd say that VRoid is a very cool program that has tons of options, and I think it is really fun and easy to work with. I'm hoping that more options and features get added as the program becomes bigger and more updated. Anyway, that'll be the end of this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, a comment, and check the description down below, because I will be putting a link to VRoid's website down there, and you guys should go check it out. Hit the notification button and subscribe for videos every weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!